Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for deciding to click on today's video. We are going to be reviewing the brand new, this is the Through the Eyes collection from ColourPop. I have here the eyeshadow palette as well as the lip bundle, which we will be reviewing in today's video. I will also be showing you guys a tutorial with the collection. So if you guys want to see my thoughts, go ahead and keep on watching. So this is the Through the Eyes collection. This is in collaboration with ILuvSarahii, or Karen, here on YouTube. I believe this is the third collaboration that she's done with ColourPop. So in this collection, you have an eyeshadow palette as well as a lip bundle. This has 3 different lipsticks in it, and then you also have the eyeshadow palette. So here is the palette. I think the packaging on here is super pretty. This whole theme for this collection has been kaleidoscope, which I think this kind of represents that. You have your names here on the back for all of the shades. Inside the palette, you get 16 different shades. You also get a nice mirror on here. And then in the lip bundle, you get 2 of their ultra matte lips and then 1 of their ultra glossy lips. So here are all 3 of the lip shades from the collection. So with this collection, you can buy the eyeshadow palette individually. It is $23 on its own. Also, you can buy the lip bundle for $16, or you can get each one of the lip products separately for $6.50. Or if you really want, you can get the PR package with the kaleidoscope. That one is $50 on their website. I really love that ColourPop lets you purchase like the entire bundle and also like the entire sets, and how they do it. I really like the fact that they let you purchase everything together and also separate. I think that that is awesome, and I love the fact that ColourPop does that with their collaborations. I went ahead and purchased the bundle with the eyeshadow palette and the lip kit, and I paid $39 for this. So this bundle is $39, or you can get the PR bundle for $50. That one you get the box, and like I said, you get the kaleidoscope with. So I went ahead and got this bundle right here. I've been trying this out for the last, I would say, week or so, and I've used the palette quite a few handful of times, and I've loved every single look that I've came up with. Really like ColourPop's formula of their eyeshadows. I think that they're really nice, and this palette is true to ColourPop's regular formula. The foiled shades in here are really pretty. The mattes blend out really nicely, and I also really enjoyed the color selection that they chose for this palette. When it comes to the lip products, you have the 2 ultra mattes and then the glossy. I wouldn't say that these are my absolute favorite formulas from ColourPop. I just don't really prefer the ultra glossy. I think for me it's just a little bit too sticky. It does also have the brush applicator, and I don't love the brush applicator. It's not my favorite for applying gloss. And then the ultra satin lip is a good lipstick because I feel like it's very long lasting, but it is a little bit drying on the lips. So again, it's not my favorite formula, but I do really enjoy the color selection that they chose. I think that all 3 of these complement each other really well. I also think that they complement the palette nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the eyeshadow palette and the lip products, and then we will move into the tutorial. So here are the swatches of all 16 shades from the eyeshadow palette. And then we have here the 3 swatches from the lip products. Alright, so I've already prepped my lids with some concealer and some powder, so we're going to go ahead and go into the eyeshadow palette. Such pretty tones in here. So I'm going to go into the shade Saddlewood first. This one is like a cool toned taupe shade, so I'm going to go ahead and just apply that. I'm going in with this Coastal Scents blending brush, and I really like this shade because it seems like it's going to be really light, but then when you actually apply it to the eye, it has a lot of depth to it. Like, it's a really pretty color. It's my ideal color for the first color that I go in with any eyeshadow look. So I love this color. I love the fact that you can build it up too. So you can really just make this a really nice color if you want a sheer wash of it, or if you want to build it up. It definitely does build up as well. Okay, so now that we've got that in the crease, with a little bit of a smaller blending brush, I'm going to go into the shade Nostalgia, this one down here, and I'm going to use that on this brush from Luxie. This is the 231, and it's just a little bit of a smaller blending brush, and I am, again, going to work this shade into my crease. Alright, so now that that's all blended out, we are going to go into Divina, which is my favorite shade in the palette. This is this one right here, and I am going to use the same brush and just work this shade into my crease. I like to stamp on the darker shades before I start blending. So I kind of just stamp them and then blend them over. That way most of the pigment is on the outer corner, and this shade actually blends super well for such a dark shade. I was kind of nervous because sometimes with darker shades you have a little bit harder time, so I wasn't sure if this would be a shade I would have a hard time with, but it actually blends out so nicely. All right, so now that we've got that shade really blended out nicely, I am actually going to go into the shade Felix, and I love this shade as well. It's kind of like a smokier, kind of like a foiled purple, like a smokier purple I would describe it as. So I'm gonna actually damp my brush. I like applying ColourPop's shadows damp. That's my favorite way. So I always spray my brush first. They do apply nicely on their own or with their finger are really nice, but I just prefer them with a damp brush, especially if I've already done my face. I just think that really helps with the fallout as well. So we're just gonna apply this shade all over our lid. Okay, so here's that shade all over the lid. So you can tell it's just like a really pretty kind of brown, purpley shade. It's just a really nice, like glittery shade. I really like it. All right, so now that we've got that all over the lid, for the lower lash line, I'm actually gonna go into the shade Moody, which is this one right here. And this shade really actually reminds me of a shade from the Subculture palette. Besides, it actually blends and it works really, really nicely. Not to like throw shade at that palette, but I feel like that shade was really hard to work with in the Subculture palette, and I really, really like it in this one. So then I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Muse, which is this really pretty golden shade, and apply that to the lower lash line as well. All right, so here is the eye look. I'm going to go ahead and apply some lashes, and then we'll be back to put on the lip products. Okay, so I'm back after applying my lashes. These are Mykonos. These are from Lily Lashes. And I'm going to go back into the palette, and I'm going to go into this first shade right here, Lucido. I believe I'm saying that right. And I'm going to put that into my inner corner. I'm just going in with my MAC 228, and I'm just going to use this for a inner corner highlight. All right, so now that we've got that in our inner corners, we're gonna go into the lips. So I'm gonna be using 2 different lip products for this one. So I'm gonna be using the more nude shade and then also the gloss from the collection. So I'm first gonna go in with this one. This one is the Ultra Matte, and I don't even wanna try and pronounce this because I'm gonna mess it up, but DeCoco, I can say that part, and then the first part I'm not exactly sure how to say. I'm sorry, you guys. But I'm gonna go in with this shade. So there is that shade on the lips, and right now my lips are so chapped and just like really dry from the winter time. So I like to pair this with a gloss. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over it. This is the Glass Lip Gloss, and I'm just gonna dab a little bit of that onto my lips, and then I'll blend it out afterwards. So I kind of just dab it on. I rub together, and then I use the brush to kind of put it all over the lips. All right, and then after that is going to complete this little mini tutorial. Let's go ahead and get into my final thoughts. All right, so getting into my final thoughts, I really, really enjoy this palette. I think Karen did a great job with the color selection. I just really enjoyed all of the tones in here. I've used this palette so many times already and created a bunch of different looks. That's what I really like. I like a palette that I can go into and just have kind of like an endless possibility, and I feel like this palette does that for me. I really like that there are blues in here, there's purples. I feel like you have a few cool tone shades in here as well. I just think it's a really pretty palette. I think they did a really good job with it. And then for the lip trio, I do really enjoy the lips in here. Ultra Matte Lip, like I was saying, isn't my favorite formula ever, but I do think that all 3 of these lip products are really nice. I really like the colors for them. I think that they complement each other really well. I think that the gloss pairs well with either shade. So yeah, that is going to do it for this review on the brand new ColourPop Through My Eyes collection. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you guys go, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, friends.